Hello, people. Today, you are going to be watching part 2 of the Flappy Bird Scratch series. That sounded weird. In this series, I teach people how to make Flappy Bird inside Scratch, as I said before. In this tutorial, we are going to be going over actually losing in the game, as in, dying when you hit the pillars, as well as a parallax background. So, let's get right on with it. First, I wanted to add a show block here to make sure of that. And by the way, I also changed this to that. I changed this number to negative 258 since that was better. So yeah, that's wonderful. Now we're gonna code the collision, the dying part. So I'm gonna put go to control, get a if then block. So I'm gonna put if touching pillar. Actually, what I'm gonna let's actually take this out. We're gonna make a totally new script where we put when flag clicked. We're gonna put forever loop, and then we put if touching pillar. Because I'll explain to you why we're gonna have a separate script instead of this. So what we're gonna do is we're going to put stop other scripts in Sprite, and then we're gonna copy this code, and then we're gonna put a repeat until blank block, and we're gonna put that there. And then we're gonna put a stop all right underneath that. We are going to be changing the stop all to like a losing screen or it taking you back to the main menu or something. But for now, we're gonna keep a stop all. Now you might be wondering, what would we put here? Well, let me show you. We're gonna create a new sprite. I'm gonna just paint mine. And we are basically going to create the ground. Rectangle to be the ground. A really good tip for when you want to rotate it and you want it to exactly be straight is to hold the shift button and drag your mouse. This locks it so that you can only make it point in 8 different, actually 1, 2, whatever, in 8 different directions. So I'm just gonna keep it straight and then make it bigger. Okay, so I created my thing. I only had a little bit of decorations, but I'm satisfied with this. Also gonna rename the costume name and the sprite to be called Floor. I'm gonna go to code. We're gonna go to, no, we're actually just gonna, we're gonna put when flag clicked, show. Now get back to your pillars, and then we're going to put a go to back layer. There we go. Now, if we play it, okay, that's a problem. what I'm gonna do is, actually, I want to not do this. Instead, I'm gonna change this from -2 to 2. Great. And another thing we could also do. No, what? Okay, here's. I'm sorry for thinking a lot. We're gonna broadcast a message called game lost. And then I'm gonna go here when I receive game lost, delete the clones. So now if we play it, got this. Yeah, it stops everything. Another problem is that it sometimes goes through the floor, which is kind of a bit weird. What I'm gonna do is just make it a tiny bit smaller, like that. Now, let's just make this show. We're gonna put the y value to -120, negative random. I'm gonna actually change this to what? -100 to 100. Step in there. Let's see how this works. See that? It's great. There's another thing. We're gonna put a stop all. We're gonna take a stop all block and we're gonna put other scripts in Sprite. So now if you play it, oh, you die. There's another thing I want to do is I'm gonna take a set y velocity to 8 block, and then we're gonna put that there. So now okay. So now, oh, that's a problem. Okay, so we're gonna put this here instead. Now let's try. So you have, then you die. Ooh, that looks really good. Maybe what we could do is when he hits, he jumps back, and then he dies. That could work. So what we're gonna do is gonna go to variables. We're gonna get x velocity. Click for this sprite only, and then click OK. Now we're gonna put set x velocity to 0 at the top of this. There. Now, what we are going to do is we're going to put set x velocity to 5. Let's put 3. Now we're going to do, go to motion, change x by x velocity. And then I'm going to also put change x by, I'm just going to use that. There we go. Now, I think if we try it, no, it swivels. That's really weird. Oh, we can just put -3. Okay. Now let's see if we try it. It looks weird. I'm gonna change this to -1 instead. And we could do this. We could change this to like 0.1. Now let's try that. Boing, boing, boingy, boing, boing. Oh, he fell. And it's falling weirdly to the side. If we do -2, you can change these values for your preference. These two are just how high or how far it jumps back, and these two are just how fast it falls or fast it goes. So bang. Yeah, it's still going in that weird curved direction. What I'm also going to do is, okay, go to 0, go to 0, 0. I want him to go to like there instead. -187. If we try it now, wait, that was weird. Wait a minute, that went weirdly wrong. Boing. Yeah, it looks like he's just falling back. I think to make that curve not possible, we're gonna change it to this. Instead of change Y1, we're gonna do it. We are going to put a, I'm just gonna delete this. I'm gonna put a set X velocity. Grab an extra X velocity because we're gonna use it later. So we're gonna put in set X velocity to X velocity times 0.8. I'm gonna put this back in. Now if we try it, it will always, okay, it's kind of weird. I'm gonna change this to 0.3. No, we're gonna put it to 0.9. There we go. That looks good. Boing. I'm gonna put this to like negative. Yeah, I'm gonna change this to -4. Well, I feel like I'm pretty happy with this. I just wanted to experiment to see what I liked. Oh. Whoa. Okay, so I also forgot. We're gonna put a repeat until touching floor. And then we're gonna do a repeat until not touching floor. We are going to put a change Y by 1, let's say. And we're gonna take this. We're gonna put that right underneath. Oh, we see that. But it looks weird. It looks weird that it just comes up like that. To fix that, what we can do is we're gonna go to My Blocks. Gonna make a new block. Let's call it Don't Glide Up Through View. There we go. Don't glide up through the floor. I don't know. You can name it anything you want. Make sure to run without screen refresh. Click OK. We got our new block. And we're gonna put this repeat until thing inside there. And then we're gonna put this right between our repeat until touching floor, loop, enter, stop, all block. Now if we try it and we die. There we go. That's beautiful. Okay, we have a bug. He can literally just fall through the floor. Not good. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna duplicate this entire thing. And then we're gonna take everything out except these 3 blocks. The stop other scripts and sprite, broadcast game lost, and the stop all block. Put that in there, and I'm gonna make sure we put floor. Now if we try it, yee, he's going high, and we have a completed game, and then he just falls and dies. Oh, he's a little cutie boy. I'm gonna change the design a bit. And make his legs so that they don't poke out as much. There we go. Oh, it's still so cute. That way, he doesn't just like... Ah! There! That's wonderful! Okay. Now what do? We do our moving parallax background. But first, we're gonna need a nice, good backdrop. This is just basically gonna be this blue colored sky or whatever you're using. And if you want, you can add like buildings in the background or something. Okay, now if we play, this already looks way cooler. But that's not a moving background. You promised me a moving background, you might be asking. Well, this is just like... I'll explain why we did this. It's just like the background behind the background. That doesn't make any sense. But okay. Oops. Okay, so here's So first what we're gonna do is we're gonna get in line. You can make it as thick or as thin as you want, and this is very important for our moving background. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna press shift and then we're gonna drag. Pressing shift will, do the same thing that we did with the rectangle. It'll make it go in all these 8 directions. So we want it to just be straight like that. You might be asking why do I have to do this? It's important, okay? It's important. So now I'm gonna start doing for now I'm gonna start making my background, and for now I am going to be keeping it nice and purple. So you can go over the line in the middle of it, like that. I'm gonna make okay, actually, okay, so just gonna move this like that. Then I'm sorry. And then finally, I'm gonna make this pointed. And then, now, finally, I am going to explain why we have this line. So, you want to make sure that the top points here and the end points are both the same. Because that's important. And if it has different colors, I'll show you. Okay, now what we do is we can delete the line, because we already got it good. Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get my eraser. Let's make it 100. There, that's good. We're just gonna basically make it without any borders. I mean, you could do this, or what you could do is change it to bitmap, and bitmap automatically does that for you. Now, I'm gonna actually move this down a bit. Now, a way to to make sure that your background is working is to duplicate it. என்னதுங்க மா? அப்பா குளிக்க போயிட்டாருமா. Please, ma. I was recording, ma. Huh? I was recording my video. Okay, so to duplicate, you duplicate it and then you put it. Want to make sure that you get this lined up, the bottoms of it lined up. And if it looks weird, like mine does, what you can do is just take that, and I'm just gonna make. Oh, I don't want that. Yeah, basically you duplicate it and then you make this left part here move to the right part of your original thing, and tweak this one, not this one, this one. Tweak that. Now once you got it good, you can delete it. I'm gonna convert it back to bitmap, and I'm gonna move it down even more. Actually, what I want to do is I'm gonna add cool looking things in the middle so that doesn't look weird. I don't know how to explain it. I don't want them to be just like rock looking things. I want these to actually look like hills. I can see those really weird white lines, so I'm just gonna delete those. And we can't exactly delete them, but yeah, there you go. Those look way better, in my opinion. My opinion is not the correct, but whatever. Okay, so there we go. We got it. Woohoo! Fun stuff. Now we're gonna name this, I don't know, Parallax Background. Or just put background. Exclamation point, because everything is better with exclamation points. So, make sure to save. Saving is good. Make sure you save. Also, make sure to name your sprites. Helps. I'm gonna put this background, even though we already have a background. Ooh, by the way, I forgot to do something. We are going to, instead of making this like that weird color, ew, disgusting, we're gonna take this color and just make that lighter, because I don't want purple hills. That just looks weird. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna convert to vector, copy, paste it, just to make sure that they work perfectly. This takes a lot of time, but I promise you it is totally worth it. Totally worth it. I mean that. It's totally worth it. I'm gonna delete that because it looks just horrible. I'm gonna zoom in there. There we go. Looking fine. Convert to bitmap. Okay, so now that's done. We can finally code it. Okay, guys. So what you have to do is, make sure you're in the background sprite. I'm gonna put when flag clicked. We are going to create a clone of myself. And then we are going to make you go to 0, 0. There. Now, there's a cool trick. To know how far your background or any sprite can go, just put in some huge number. And then I will tell you that. But wait, make sure it's negative. Oh, for me it's negative 465. So what you would do is you're gonna put glide 6 seconds? Let's see that. Let's see how that looks. 7 maybe? I like that speed. That's a good speed. Now once you do that, we're gonna go to control. No, we're gonna go to control. We're gonna put a when I start as a clone. We're gonna put a wait 0.1 seconds. Make sure to save. So that. Once you've done that, we're gonna just duplicate this, but we're gonna put 465, basically the opposite of this number. And then in here, instead of 7 or whatever number you put, you have to put double this number, 14. In my case, it's 14. Now, if we play this, wow, it looks continuous. Except for that. That's a problem. Well, here's how you solve that. We're gonna put a forever loop here. And we're just gonna drag this, and then we're gonna literally just put that there. Now, if we test this out, it hopefully works. And yeah, it works just perfectly. Yippee, that's just amazing. Well, let me show you what's happening here. So basically, you have your main guy, right? When he moves, you have another clone that starts here and moves at the same pace. We have to double this because the main actual sprite is moving just half of the distance that the clone has to go. So it goes like that. And then once the main sprite is there and the clone sprite ends up starting where our main thing was, our main sprite goes here and then comes back, and then it just starts all over again. Sorry if you don't understand, it's pretty common. By the way, make sure to put go to back. Back. So now if you see it, oh yay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go to pillar. We're gonna go to back layer. So now that's gonna be a problem. Yeah, we're just gonna basically put a go to back layer in the forever loop and see how that works. There we go. Not really a there we go moment. What I am going to do is I'm gonna take these two out. I'm just gonna do that. Now, it should work well. There we go. It works amazingly well. Yippee! So, that is it for today, guys. In the next tutorial, we are going to try to code the score. And maybe even a main menu. Whoa! Well, that's only if we have time. So, that's Peckost, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.